Oh my gosh, viewers, buckle up because the drama in the world of love and hip-hop just exploded like a fireworks show gone wrong. Imagine this. Rasheeda, the queen of hustle and heart, the woman who's built an empire with her music, her fashion line, and her unbreakable spirit, has finally had enough. We're talking about Rasheeda Frost, the boss babe who's been riding the roller coaster of love with her husband Kirk for years, through scandals, side chicks, and enough tears to fill an ocean. But tonight, sources close to the couple are spilling the tea that's hotter than Atlanta asphalt in July. Rasheeda has packed her bags and left Kirk after catching him red-handed with another woman, again. Picture the scene. It's a steamy evening in their lavish Atlanta mansion, the kind of place where luxury meets chaos. Rasheeda, fresh off a killer performance at a local club, decides to surprise her man with a romantic night in. But what does she walk into? Kirk, the notorious playboy who's cheated death in their marriage more times than we can count, tangled up in the arms of some mysterious bombshell who's been lurking in the shadows of his DMs. The betrayal hits like a thunderclap. Rasheeda's face twists from shock to fury, her voice echoing through the halls as she screams, "How many times, Kirk? How many damn times do I have to forgive you?" Kirk stammers excuses, but it's too late. The woman scrambles out, leaving a trail of designer heels and regret, while Rasheeda grabs her keys, her kids' photos, and storms out into the night, vowing never to look back. Fans are losing their minds online. Twitter is ablaze with hashtags like #Rasheeda leaves Kirk and #Kirk caught again, with loyal supporters rallying behind her, saying things like, "Girl, you've put up with too much. Time to level up." But hold on, because this isn't just another chapter in their toxic love story. Whispers from insiders hint at deeper secrets. Was this mystery woman someone from Kirk's past business dealings? Did she have proof of even more affairs? And what about their kids? How will this shatter the family they've fought so hard to keep together? Emotions are running sky high, with Rasheeda's mom reportedly calling Kirk every name in the book, and his boys trying to play peacemaker. But is this the final straw, or just another plot twist in their endless saga? Stick around, because we're diving deep into the juicy details, the arguments that shook the walls, the texts that exposed it all, and the shocking twists that could change everything. You won't believe what happens next. The night air in Atlanta felt thicker than usual as Rasheeda Frost slammed the door of her black Range Rover and peeled out of the driveway, leaving behind the mansion that once felt like home but now just reeked of betrayal. Her hands gripped the steering wheel so tight her knuckles turned white, tears streaming down her face mixing with the fury that burned hotter than any spotlight she'd ever stood under. How could he do this again? She whispered to herself over and over like a broken record. How could Kirk Frost, the man who swore on their kids, on their legacy, on everything they built together, do this one more time? The radio played low, some old R&B slow jam that only made the pain sharper, memories flashing like lightning. Rasheeda and Kirk at their wedding day, her in that white gown, him promising forever, their first son born, the late nights in the studio when they were grinding together, building Rasheeda's career from the ground up, all of it crumbling in her mind like cheap drywall. She didn't even know where she was driving at first, just away anywhere but there. Eventually she pulled into the driveway of her best friend K. Michelle's spot, because who else do you call when your world implodes? K opened the door in her silk robe, eyes widening the second she saw Rasheeda's mascara streaked face. "Girl, what happened? Come in, come in." Rasheeda collapsed onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. "It's Kirk again, K. Another woman in our bed, in our house. I walked in and they were, I can't even say it." K. Michelle's jaw dropped. She grabbed a bottle of wine, poured 2 glasses, big ones, and sat down. "Listen to me, you are not doing this alone tonight. We're figuring this out, but first tell me everything. Start from the top." Rasheeda took a shaky breath and spilled it all. How she'd finished her set at the club feeling on top of the world, how she'd texted Kirk, "I'm coming home early, surprise baby," how she'd stopped for his favorite takeout from that spot on Peachtree thinking maybe tonight they could reconnect, really talk about the distance that had been growing, how she walked through the front door calling his name softly at first, then louder when no one answered. The lights were dim in the living room, music playing low from the bedroom. She pushed the door open and there he was, Kirk, on their California King bed, shirt half off, with some chick in lingerie straddling him, laughing like they owned the place. The takeout bag hit the floor, spilling lo mein everywhere. Rasheeda screamed, "Kirk, what the hell?" He jumped up, pushing the girl off him. "Babe, it's not what it looks like, I swear." The woman grabbed her clothes, muttering, "Sorry, this wasn't supposed to happen," and bolted past Rasheeda down the stairs. Rasheeda just stood there frozen for a second, then the rage hit like a tidal wave. She started throwing things, pillows, lamps, whatever was close. Kirk tried to grab her arms. "Calm down, Rasheeda, calm down, she yelled. "You want me to calm down after I catch you balls deep in some random again? How many times, Kirk? How many side pieces have there been this year alone? 3, 4, I lost count." K. Michelle listened, shaking her head. Girl, you deserve so much better. You've been carrying this marriage on your back for years, paying bills, raising the kids, holding down the brand while he runs around like he's single. Rasheeda wiped her eyes. Yeah, but the kids, K, they love their daddy. How do I explain this to them without breaking their hearts? And the fans, they've rooted for us through everything. They'll think I'm weak if I walk away now. K leaned in. No baby, they'll think you're strong. They'll respect you for finally choosing yourself. You think Beyonce stayed with Jay after Elevator Gate? No, she handled her business and came out shining brighter. You can do the same. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, Kirk was pacing the bedroom like a caged animal. The sheets still messed up, the scent of that other woman's perfume hanging in the air. He dialed Rasheeda over and over, straight to voicemail. He texted, baby, please come home, let's talk. I messed up, I know, but I love you, only you. He hit send, then another one. The kids are asking where you at. What do I tell them? He stared at the screen, waiting for those three dots. Nothing. He threw the phone across the room. It cracked against the wall. He sank onto the bed, head in his hands. How did it get this bad? He knew the answer deep down. The ego, the temptation, the thrill of getting away with it every time until he didn't. He thought about calling his boys Scrappy or even Mama D, but what could they say that he hadn't already heard? You're tripping, Kirk, you're gonna lose everything. Rasheeda's phone buzzed non-stop, notifications pouring in. Fans had already caught wind somehow. A blurry photo from a neighbor's Ring camera showing Rasheeda storming out, bags in hand, hit Twitter and Instagram like wildfire. Comments flooded in. Oh no, not again. Hashtag Rasheeda deserves better. Kirk, you trash. Hashtag protect Rasheeda at all costs. One fan posted a whole thread breaking down every Kirk scandal, from the strip club receipts to the baby mama drama to the leaked texts with other women. Rasheeda scrolled through them at K's house, her heart sinking and lifting at the same time. So many people saw her worth even when she struggled to see it herself. But then her mom called. Rasheeda answered on the first ring. Mama, Rasheeda, baby, what is going on? I just saw the blogs. Are you okay? Rasheeda broke down again. Mama, I can't do this no more. I walked in on him with another one right in our bed. Her mom let out a string of curses in Creole that would make a sailor blush. That no good, low down, dirty dog. I told you years ago, Rasheeda, that man ain't changed. And he never will. You listen to me. You pack what you need, you get your babies, and you come stay with me if you have to, but do not go back. Not this time. Rasheeda sniffled. I know, Mama, I know. I feel so stupid for believing him every time. He promised it was the last time. Her mom softened a little. Baby, you not stupid, you loyal, you loved hard. That's not a flaw, that's a gift. But now it's time to gift that love to yourself and those boys who need their mama whole, not broken. The conversation stretched late into the night. Rasheeda crashing on K's couch, phone on silent but still vibrating with love and support from her circle. Her stylist sent flowers, her producer texted studio time whenever you're ready. Even some old Love and Hip Hop castmates reached out. Scrappy's wife Bambi wrote, girl, we've all been there, stand tall. Rasheeda felt a tiny spark of strength flicker inside her. Maybe this really was the end. Maybe she could rebuild without him. Maybe she could show her sons what a woman walking away from toxicity looked like, not weakness but power. Kirk, on the other hand, wasn't ready to let go. He sat in the dark scrolling through old photos of them happy times. Rasheeda pregnant with their youngest, Kirk kissing her belly, Rasheeda on stage, him in the front row cheering loudest. He felt sick to his stomach, not just from guilt but from the realization that this time she might not come back. He picked up the phone one more time, dialed her mom. Hey, Ma, it's Kirk, don't hang up please, I know I messed up bad, I need to talk to her. Ma, Rasheeda's mom didn't even let him finish. Boy, if you got any sense left in that head of yours, you'll give my daughter space. You done hurt her enough for 3 lifetimes. Kirk tried to plead. Ma, I love her, I can change. Her mom laughed bitterly. Change? You couldn't change if Jesus himself handed you the playbook. Now leave her be before I come over there myself and handle you. Kirk hung up, defeated. For the first time in years he felt truly alone. As dawn broke over Atlanta, Rasheeda stared out K's window, watching the sunrise painting the sky in pinks and golds. She thought about the empire she'd built, the music, the clothing line, the podcast, the way she'd turned pain into power before she could do it again, but this time without dragging dead weight. She whispered to herself, I'm done, I'm really done. And for the first time the words didn't feel like a threat, they felt like freedom. But just when she started to breathe a little easier, her phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. Hey Rasheeda, it's me, the girl from last night. I need to talk to you. It's not what you think, there's more to this than you know. Rasheeda's heart stopped. Who was this chick and what bombshell was she about to drop? Because if this drama wasn't over, it was about to get a whole lot messier. The night air in Atlanta felt thicker than usual as Rasheeda Frost slammed the door of her black Range Rover and peeled out of the driveway, leaving behind the mansion that once felt like home but now just reeked of betrayal. Her hands gripped the steering wheel so tight her knuckles turned white, tears streaming down her face mixing with the fury that burned hotter than any spotlight she'd ever stood under. How could he do this again? She whispered to herself over and over like a broken record. How could Kirk Frost, the man who swore on their kids, on their legacy, on everything they built together, do this one more time? The radio played low some old R&B slow jam that only made the pain sharper, memories flashing like lightning. Rasheeda and Kirk at their wedding day, her in that white gown, him promising forever, their first son born, the late nights in the studio when they were grinding together, building Rasheeda's career from the ground up, all of it crumbling in her mind like cheap drywall. She didn't even know where she was driving at first, just away anywhere but there. Eventually she pulled into the driveway of her best friend K. Michelle's spot, because who else do you call when your world implodes? K opened the door in her silk robe, eyes widening the second she saw Rasheeda's mascara streaked face. Girl, what happened? Come in, come in. Rasheeda collapsed onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. It's Kirk again. K, another woman in our bed in our house. I walked in and they were, I can't even say it. K. Michelle's jaw dropped. She grabbed a bottle of wine, poured 2 glasses, big ones, and sat down. Listen to me, you are not doing this alone tonight, we're figuring this out, but first tell me everything, start from the top. Rasheeda took a shaky breath and spilled it all. How she'd finished her set at the club feeling on top of the world, how she'd texted Kirk, I'm coming home early, surprise baby, how she'd stopped for his favorite takeout from that spot on Peachtree thinking maybe tonight they could reconnect, really talk about the distance that had been growing, how she walked through the front door calling his name, softly at first then louder when no one answered. The lights were dim in the living room, music playing low from the bedroom. She pushed the door open and there he was, Kirk on their California king bed, shirt half off with some chick in lingerie straddling him, laughing like they owned the place. The takeout bag hit the floor, spilling lo mein everywhere. Rasheeda screamed, Kirk, what the hell? He jumped up, pushing the girl off him. Babe, it's not what it looks like, I swear. The woman grabbed her clothes, muttering sorry, this wasn't supposed to happen, and bolted past Rasheeda down the stairs. Rasheeda just stood there frozen for a second, then the rage hit like a tidal wave. She started throwing things, pillows, lamps, whatever was close. Kirk tried to grab her arms. Calm down, Rasheeda, calm down, she yelled. You want me to calm down after I catch you balls deep in some random again? How many times, Kirk? How many side pieces have there been this year alone? 3, 4, I lost count. K. Michelle listened, shaking her head. Girl, you deserve so much better. You've been carrying this marriage on your back for years, paying bills, raising the kids, holding down the brand while he runs around like he's single. Rasheeda wiped her eyes. Yeah, but the kids, K, they love their daddy. How do I explain this to them without breaking their hearts? And the fans, they've rooted for us through everything. They'll think I'm weak if I walk away now. K leaned in. No baby, they'll think you're strong. They'll respect you for finally choosing yourself. You think Beyonce stayed with Jay after Elevator Gate? No, she handled her business and came out shining brighter. You can do the same. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, Kirk was pacing the bedroom like a caged animal, the sheets still messed up, the scent of that other woman's perfume hanging in the air. He dialed Rasheeda over and over, straight to voicemail. He texted, baby, please come home, let's talk. I messed up, I know, but I love you, only you. He hit send, then another one. The kids are asking where you at. What do I tell them? He stared at the screen, waiting for those 3 dots. Nothing. He threw the phone across the room. It cracked against the wall. He sank onto the bed, head in his hands. How did it get this bad? He knew the answer deep down, the ego, the temptation, the thrill of getting away with it every time until he didn't. He thought about calling his boys Scrappy or even Mama D, but what could they say that he hadn't already heard? You're tripping, Kirk, you're gonna lose everything. Rasheeda's phone buzzed non-stop, notifications pouring in. Fans had already caught wind somehow. A blurry photo from a neighbor's Ring camera showing Rasheeda storming out, bags in hand, hit Twitter and Instagram like wildfire. Comments flooded in. Oh no, not again. Hashtag Rasheeda deserves better. Kirk, you trash. Hashtag protect Rasheeda at all costs. One fan posted a whole thread breaking down every Kirk scandal, from the strip club receipts to the baby mama drama to the leaked texts with other women. Rasheeda scrolled through them at K's house, her heart sinking and lifting at the same time. So many people saw her worth even when she struggled to see it herself. But then her mom called. Rasheeda answered on the first ring. Mama, Rasheeda, baby, what is going on? I just saw the blogs. Are you okay? Rasheeda broke down again. Mama, I can't do this no more. I walked in on him with another one right in our bed. Her mom let out a string of curses in Creole that would make a sailor blush. That no good, low down, dirty dog. I told you years ago, Rasheeda, that man ain't changed. And he never will. You listen to me. You pack what you need, you get your babies, and you come stay with me if you have to, but do not go back. Not this time. Rasheeda sniffled. I know, Mama, I know. I feel so stupid for believing him every time. He promised it was the last time. Her mom softened a little. Baby, you not stupid, you loyal, you loved hard. That's not a flaw, that's a gift. But now it's time to gift that love to yourself and those boys who need their mama whole, not broken. The conversation stretched late into the night. Rasheeda crashing on K's couch, phone on silent but still vibrating with love and support from her circle. Her stylist sent flowers, her producer texted studio time whenever you're ready. Even some old Love and Hip Hop castmates reached out. Scrappy's wife Bambi wrote, girl, we've all been there, stand tall. Rasheeda felt a tiny spark of strength flicker inside her. Maybe this really was the end. Maybe she could rebuild without him. Maybe she could show her sons what a woman walking away from toxicity looked like, not weakness but power. Kirk on the other hand wasn't ready to let go. He sat in the dark scrolling through old photos of them happy times, Rasheeda pregnant with their youngest, Kirk kissing her belly, Rasheeda on stage, him in the front row cheering loudest. He felt sick to his stomach, not just from guilt but from the realization that this time she might not come back. He picked up the phone one more time, dialed her mom. Hey, Ma, it's Kirk, don't hang up please, I know I messed up bad, I need to talk to her. Ma, Rasheeda's mom didn't even let him finish. Boy, if you got any sense left in that head of yours, you'll give my daughter space. You done hurt her enough for 3 lifetimes. Kirk tried to plead. Ma, I love her, I can change her. Mom laughed bitterly. Change? You couldn't change if Jesus himself handed you the playbook. Now, leave her be before I come over there myself and handle you. Kirk hung up, defeated. For the first time in years he felt truly alone. As dawn broke over Atlanta, Rasheeda stared out Kay's window, watching the sunrise painting the sky in pinks and golds. She thought about the empire she'd built, the music, the clothing line, the podcast, the way she'd turned pain into power before she could do it again, but this time without dragging dead weight. She whispered to herself, I'm done, I'm really done, and for the first time the words didn't feel like a threat, they felt like freedom. But just when she started to breathe a little easier, her phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. Hey Rasheeda, it's me, the girl from last night. I need to talk to you. It's not what you think, there's more to this than you know. Rasheeda's heart stopped. Who was this chick and what bombshell was she about to drop? Because if this drama wasn't over, it was about to get a whole lot messier. Rasheeda stared at the unknown number text for what felt like forever, her thumb hovering over the screen, heart pounding like it was trying to escape her chest. Who the hell was this girl and what game was she playing now? Part of her wanted to delete it, block it, pretend it never happened, but the other part, the part that had been burned too many times, needed answers. She typed back slowly, who is this? And what do you want? The reply came almost instantly, my name is Jasmine, I was with Kirk last night but I swear I didn't know he was married. Not really, not like that, please just hear me out, I have something you need to see. Rasheeda's stomach twisted. Jasmine, that name rang a faint bell, like something she'd seen in passing on Kirk's phone months ago, maybe a contact he swore was just business. She showed the messages to Kay Michelle, who immediately snatched the phone. Girl, do not respond yet, we need to think this through. She could be lying, trying to stir more drama, or worse, she could be telling the truth, and that means Kirk's been playing on a whole different level. Rasheeda nodded, but her fingers were already moving. I'm listening, what do you have to say? Jasmine sent a voice note. Rasheeda hit play and a soft, nervous voice filled the room. Hey Rasheeda, I know this sounds crazy, but I met Kirk through a business connect like 6 months ago. He told me he was separated, going through a divorce, that y'all were basically done, just co-parenting for the kids. He showed me pictures, said you were cool with him dating. I believed him because why would he lie about something like that? We only hooked up a few times, nothing serious, but last night he invited me over, said the house was empty. I didn't know you were coming home. I would have never if I'd known. I swear I'm not trying to be a homewrecker, I just got played too. Kay Michelle rolled her eyes. Typical Kirk move, make the side chick think the wife is the villain. Rasheeda felt sick all over again. Separated? They weren't separated, they'd been in counseling last month. Kirk had cried, begged her to stay, said he was done with the foolishness, but apparently not done enough. Jasmine kept texting, there's more, I recorded some of our conversations, not the sexy stuff, just the talking parts where he badmouths you, says you're controlling, says the marriage is over in name only. I can send them if you want proof. Rasheeda's breath caught. Proof of what exactly? That Kirk was a liar. She'd already known that, but hearing him trash her to another woman, that was a new level of low. She texted back, send them. Minutes later, audio files started dropping into the chat. Rasheeda plugged in earbuds so Kay couldn't hear every word, but she listened alone in the guest bathroom, door locked. First clip, Kirk's voice smooth as ever, yeah man, Rasheeda's cool, but she's always on my back about money, about where I go. She don't trust me no more after all the BS I put her through, but honestly, between you and me, the spark died years ago. I'm just staying for the kids and the image, you know how it is in this industry. Jasmine's laugh light and flirty, poor baby, you deserve better, someone who appreciates you. Second clip, him saying, I told you I'm getting my own spot soon. Rasheeda thinks we're working on us, but I'm already looking at condos downtown. Once the divorce papers drop, it's over for real. Rasheeda's hands shook so bad she dropped the phone. She slid down the wall, sitting on the cold tile, tears coming silent this time, not rage, just pure exhaustion. How long had he been planning his exit while feeding her lies about forever? She emerged from the bathroom, face puffy. Kay took one look and pulled her into a hug. What did she send? Rasheeda just handed over the earbuds, let her listen. Kay's expression went from curious to furious. By the end, that son of a bitch, he was plotting his escape the whole time, acting like he wanted to fix things. Rasheeda whispered, he told her the spark died years ago. Kay, that means while I was planning date nights, couples therapy, posting throwback pics for our anniversary, he was telling strangers our marriage was dead. Kay hugged her tighter. Then we're not letting him rewrite the story. You're going public with this, not messy public but classy public. You release a statement or do an interview, say your piece before he spins it like you're the one who gave up. But Rasheeda wasn't ready for that yet. She needed to confront Kirk face to face one last time, not for reconciliation but for closure. She texted him, "We need to talk tonight. Neutral ground, the lounge at the W Hotel, 8 p.m. Don't be late." Kirk replied instantly, "Thank you baby, I'm there, I love you." Rasheeda didn't respond. Love wasn't the word anymore. That evening she dressed carefully, not to impress him but to remind herself who she was. Black leather pants, silk blouse, heels that clicked with authority, hair and makeup, flawless armor. She arrived early, sat at a corner table sipping water, watching the door. When Kirk walked in he looked rough and shaven, eyes red like he hadn't slept. He tried to hug her. She stepped back. "Sit down Kirk, we got a lot to cover." He sat looking nervous. "Babe, I know I messed up bad. Last night was stupid. I was drunk. I wasn't thinking." She cut him off. "Save it, I already talked to Jasmine." His face drained of color. Jasmine, who he tried to play dumb. Rasheeda pulled out her phone, played the first audio clip right there at the table, his own voice filling the space between them. Kirk's eyes darted around like he was looking for an exit. She leaned in. "You told her we were separated. You told her the spark died. You told her you were getting a condo downtown, planning your exit while I was home raising our boys, cooking your favorite meals, believing your lies." Kirk opened his mouth then closed it. What could he say? She kept going. "And you know what's crazy? I almost believed you were changing. I almost let you back in after the last time, after the stripper, after the baby mama drama, after everything, but this is calculated, this is cruel." Kirk finally spoke, voice low. "Rasheeda, I was scared. Okay, things got heavy with the show, the money, the pressure. I started feeling trapped. I said those things to Jasmine to feel like a man again, not because I meant them. I love you, you're my wife, my everything." Rasheeda laughed bitter. "No Kirk, you love the idea of me, the successful wife who makes you look good, the mother of your kids who holds everything together, but you don't love me enough to keep your pants zipped. You don't love me enough to tell the truth even when it's hard." He reached for her hand. She snatched it back. "Don't touch me. I'm done Kirk. I'm filing. I'm taking the kids. I'm taking my name off anything joint that I can. I'm done being your safety net." He started crying, real tears now. "Babe, please don't do this. Think about the boys. They need their daddy. They need both of us." Rasheeda's voice cracked. "They need a mama who's not crying herself to sleep every night wondering who you're with. They need to see what self-respect looks like." "Kirk, I'm not doing this to hurt you. I'm doing it to save myself." He wiped his face. "Okay, if that's what you want, but at least let me be there when you tell the kids. Let me help with the transition." Rasheeda shook her head. "No, you've lost that privilege. I'll tell them when I'm ready and you'll respect whatever boundaries I set, or I'll make sure the world knows exactly why this ended." They sat in silence for a long minute, the lounge music playing soft jazz around them like nothing was falling apart. Kirk whispered, "Can I at least say I'm sorry and mean it this time?" Rasheeda looked at him, really looked, and saw the man she'd loved, the one she'd fought for, but also the stranger who'd betrayed her too many times. She stood up. "I'm sorry too Kirk. Sorry we ended up here, but I'm not sorry for choosing me." She walked out, head high, heels clicking, leaving him alone at the table staring at his empty glass. Outside, the valet brought her car. She slid in, blasted the AC, and just breathed. For the first time in hours she felt lighter, not healed, not yet, but lighter. She drove straight to pick up the kids from her mom's. They'd been staying there since last night. When she walked in they ran to her. "Mommy, mommy." Her oldest hugged her tight. "Where were you? We missed you." Rasheeda knelt down, eye level. "Mommy had to handle some grown-up stuff, but I'm here now and I'm not going anywhere." "Okay." They nodded, sensing something big but not understanding it fully. Her mom watched from the doorway, proud, fierce, protective. Rasheeda whispered to her, "Mama, I'm filing tomorrow." Her mom nodded. "Good baby, good. Now come eat. I made your favorite." That night, after tucking the boys in, Rasheeda sat on her mom's porch staring at the stars, phone in hand. She drafted a statement, short, powerful. "Rasheeda Frost here. After much thought and prayer, I've decided to move forward separately from Kirk Frost. This was not an easy decision, but it's necessary for my peace, my growth, and my children's well-being. I ask for privacy during this time. Thank you to my fans, family, and team for the unwavering support. I love y'all and I'll see you on the other side stronger." She hit post on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. The internet erupted within minutes, fans flooding the comments with hearts, prayers, strength emojis, love, and hip-hop castmates reposting with captions like "We got you queen." Even Stevie J chimed in, "Respect Rasheeda, you always been a boss." But Kirk wasn't silent either. He posted his own cryptic message, "Sometimes love means letting go. Praying for my family during this transition." The shade rooms and bloggers went wild, comparing posts, dissecting every word, theories flying. Was there a prenup? Who gets the mansion? What about the cars, the businesses? Rasheeda muted notifications, went to bed exhausted but oddly peaceful. The next morning brought the first real twist. Jasmine reached out again, this time with screenshots, not just audio but bank statements. Kirk had shown her deposits from accounts Rasheeda didn't know about, large sums funneled to shell companies. Jasmine claimed Kirk told her it was for a secret project, but she suspected it was hush money for other women or worse, tax evasion stuff. Rasheeda's head spun. If this was true, it wasn't just cheating, it was financial betrayal on top of everything else. She forwarded everything to her lawyer, quietly building her case. No more blind trust, no more giving him the benefit of the doubt. Meanwhile, Kirk was holed up at a friend's spot trying to damage control. He called his mom. Mama D answered on speaker so the whole family could hear. Kirk, baby, what have you done this time? He broke down. Mom, I lost her for real. She walked out. She filing. Mama D sighed heavy. Lord have mercy on you, boy. You played with fire too long. Now you burned the whole house down. His sister jumped in. You better lawyer up because Rasheeda ain't playing. She got receipts, she got support, she got her own money. You think she'll let you walk away clean? Think again. The drama was just heating up. Paparazzi started camping outside Rasheeda's mom's house. Fans showed up with signs, "We stand with Rasheeda." Her team scheduled crisis PR meetings. Brands reached out checking loyalty, some quietly dropping hints they might pull sponsorships if things got too messy. Rasheeda refused to hide. She posted a simple selfie with the boys' caption, "Family first always." The likes poured in millions strong. But the biggest shock came 2 days later when an anonymous blog dropped what they called the full Kirk Frost timeline, complete with dates, names, receipts, blurry photos of him with different women over the years, including Jasmine and at least 2 others. Rasheeda hadn't even known about the post. Went viral. Blogs picked it up. TMZ. People everywhere. Rasheeda sat with K. Michelle reading it, jaw dropped. This wasn't just her story anymore. It was public record proof that Kirk's cheating wasn't occasional, it was a pattern, a lifestyle. She turned to K. Girl, if this is all true, then I'm not just leaving, I'm exposing. I'm not gonna let him play victim. I'm gonna tell my truth when I'm ready. K nodded. Then let's get you that platform. Love and Hip Hop reunion filming next month. You know they'll ask about it. You ready to go on record? Rasheeda took a deep breath. Yeah, I'm ready because silence protected him too long. It's time the world sees who he really is and who I am without him. As the days blurred into a whirlwind of lawyer calls, therapy sessions, kid routines, and endless notifications, Rasheeda started journaling again, pouring out the pain, the anger, the hope, turning hurt into lyrics in her head. New songs brewing, powerful anthems about rising from ashes. She even booked studio time under a fake name just to get away from the noise. One night in the booth, she recorded a raw hook over a slow beat. I'm done being your option, time to be my own priority. No more tears in silence, no more begging for loyalty. Goodbye to the lies, hello to my victory. The engineer nodded. Damn, Rasheeda, that's fire. She smiled. For real this time? Yeah, it is. Back at home, the kids were adjusting better than expected. Her oldest asked, Mommy, are you and Daddy getting divorced? Rasheeda sat him down. Yes, baby, we are, but that doesn't mean we stop loving you. It just means Mommy and Daddy will live in different houses and love you from 2 places instead of 1. He hugged her tight. Okay, as long as you're happy, Mommy. She kissed his forehead. I'm getting there. Baby, I'm getting there. And through it all, Jasmine stayed in contact, not as a friend exactly, but as an unexpected ally, sending more proof when she found it, apologizing again and again. Rasheeda didn't fully trust her, but she didn't hate her either. They were both women Kirk had used, both left hurt in his wake. One night, Rasheeda texted Jasmine, "Thank you for the truth, even if it hurt." Jasmine replied, "I wish I'd known sooner. I would have walked away too. Maybe we both deserve better than him." Rasheeda stared at the message. Maybe we do. The story was far from over. Whispers of Kirk trying to countersue for defamation, circulating rumors he was shopping a tell-all interview to spin his side, but Rasheeda wasn't scared anymore. She had her truth, her team, her kids, her faith, and for the first time in years she had herself fully. No compromises, no settling, no looking back. The Atlanta skyline glittered outside her window as she stood on her mom's balcony, phone silent for once. She whispered to the night, "Thank you for the pain because it's teaching me how to fly." And somewhere deep inside she knew the next chapter wasn't just survival, it was triumph. Rasheeda couldn't sleep that night. The Jasmine revelations kept replaying in her head like a bad remix. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Kirk's face when she played those audio clips, the way his confidence cracked, the excuses dying on his lips. She tossed and turned on the guest bed at her mom's house, sheets tangled around her legs, until finally she got up, slipped into the kitchen, and made tea the old-fashioned way, just like Mama used to when life got heavy. Steam rising, curling around her face. She sat at the small table, staring into the cup, wondering how many more layers of lies were still buried. How deep did this go? By morning, the internet had turned the story into a full-blown circus. Blogs had screenshots of her statement side by side with Kirk's vague post, fans picking sides like it was a sports game. Team Rasheeda trending worldwide with edits of her old performances overlaid with empowering captions. Team Kirk smaller but loud, claiming she was overreacting, that men make mistakes. Rasheeda scrolled through it all from the safety of her mom's Wi-Fi, feeling the weight of thousands of eyes on her life, some supportive, some judgmental, some downright nasty. One comment stung, especially a woman writing, "Maybe if you gave him more attention at home he wouldn't stray." Rasheeda almost threw the phone, but instead she screenshotted it, sent it to K. Michelle with a single word, "ridiculous." K replied back instantly, "Block, delete, report. Sis, don't let them live rent-free in your head. You're the prize, not the problem." Her lawyer called early a sharp no-nonsense sister named Tanya who specialized in high-profile divorces. Rasheeda, we need to move fast. I've already pulled financials. Joint accounts show some irregularities. Large transfers to accounts I can't trace yet. We'll subpoena if needed, but for now freeze what you can. Protect the kids. Trusts the business assets. Rasheeda nodded even though Tanya couldn't see her. I'm on it. What about custody? He wants to be involved. Tanya's voice hardened. Primary custody stays with you unless he proves otherwise, and with the pattern of behavior we're building he won't get much leverage. Keep documenting everything. Texts, calls, voicemails. If he shows up unannounced, record it safely. Georgia is a one-party consent state. Use that wisely. The day passed in a blur of phone calls, meetings with her manager about upcoming gigs, rescheduling appearances because her head wasn't in performance mode yet. Her stylist dropped off outfits for moral support. Girl, you still gotta look like the boss even when you're breaking up the empire. Rasheeda laughed for the first time in days. Thanks boo, I needed that. She tried on a red power suit, stared at herself in the mirror, shoulders back, chin up. Yeah, she could do this. She could walk through fire and come out shining. Kirk meanwhile was spiraling. He hadn't left his friend's couch in 48 hours. Bottles piling up, takeout containers everywhere, his phone blowing up with notifications from friends, family, blogs, even old flings sliding in with fake concern just to get tea. He ignored most of it, but when Mama D called again he answered, this time on video so she could see his face. Mama, I messed up real bad. She ain't coming back. Mama D looked tired, more than angry. Kirk, you always mess up, but this time you messed with a woman who knows her worth. She built everything y'all have while you played games. Now you gone. Feel the consequences. He cried again. Mama, help me talk to her please. Mama D shook her head. No baby, this one you gotta face alone. I love you, but I won't co-sign your foolishness anymore. Get yourself together for those boys if nothing else. That afternoon Kirk's pride finally cracked. He drove to Rasheeda's mom's neighborhood, parked a block away, watched the house from his car like some sad movie scene. He saw Rasheeda come out with the kids, taking them to the park, laughing with them, swinging, pushing them on the slide. For a second he almost got out to join, but then he saw her face, the peace in it, the absence of him, and he stayed put. Tears blurring his vision, he texted her, I saw you with the boys, you look happy, I'm glad, please let me see them soon. Rasheeda read it, felt a pang, but typed back, when the lawyers say it's okay, boundaries, Kirk, respect them. He stared at the message for 10 minutes, then drove away knowing he'd lost more than a wife. He'd lost access to the life he took for granted. Back at the house, Rasheeda got another surprise text from Jasmine, this one longer. I found something else. Kirk left his iPad at my place that night. I didn't touch it at first, but curiosity got me. I opened it. There's a hidden folder, videos, conversations with other women, not just me, at least 5 others over the last 3 years, names, dates, amounts he was paying some of them to stay quiet, NDAs, receipts. One girl even had a kid, claimed it was his, but he denied it publicly. Rasheeda's blood ran cold. She called Jasmine, voice shaking, send everything now. Jasmine hesitated. You sure this could destroy him? Rasheeda didn't blink. He destroyed himself. Send it. The files came through massive zip folder. Rasheeda opened it on her laptop alone in the bedroom, door locked. Photos, videos, transcripts, bank records. One video showed Kirk in a hotel room with a woman Rasheeda vaguely recognized from the industry, laughing, counting cash. Another showed texts where he wrote to a different girl, if Rasheeda ever finds out, pay her off like the last one. She won't leave. She loves the lifestyle too much. Rasheeda felt nausea rise. She ran to the bathroom, threw up everything she'd eaten that day. When she came back she forwarded select non-explicit proof to Tanya with a note, this changes everything. Tanya called back within minutes. Rasheeda, this is leverage gold. We're talking infidelity, financial misconduct, possible fraud. If those transfers were marital funds, we're pushing for everything: house, cars, businesses, alimony, child support, full custody. If he fights it, we go nuclear. Rasheeda sat on the floor back against the bed, breathing deep. She didn't want to destroy Kirk, she never had, but she also refused to be destroyed herself. She texted K, I got more proof, it's bad, like really bad. K replied, come over tonight, bring the files, we'll strategize and drink wine, lots of wine. At Kay's place they spread everything out on the coffee table like detectives in a crime show. Kay whistled low. Damn girl, he was running a whole side operation. Rasheeda nodded. Yeah, and I was the fool thinking it was just occasional slips. Kay poured more wine. Listen, we can leak this anonymously, let the blogs do the dirty work, or we hold it for the reunion special, make him squirm on camera. Rasheeda thought about it. I want to confront him again, one more time, not for closure this time, for accountability. I want him to look me in the eye and admit it all. 2 days later they met again, same hotel lounge, but this time Rasheeda brought her lawyer Tanya sitting beside her like a guard dog. Kirk walked in looking worse than before, suit wrinkled, eyes bloodshot. He tried to smile. Hey babe. Rasheeda cut straight to it. Sid, we talking facts today, no excuses, no tears, just truth. She slid a folder across the table, printouts of the worst stuff, dates, names, payments. Kirk's face went gray. Where did you get this? Rasheeda didn't blink. Doesn't matter, the question is why, Kirk. Why the secret accounts? Why paying women to stay quiet? Why lying about a kid? Why planning your exit while telling me you loved me? He stared at the papers, hands shaking. I didn't know how to stop. It started small, one girl then another. I got in over my head, the money, the ego. I thought I could handle it. Rasheeda leaned forward. You couldn't handle it. You ruined us, Kirk. You ruined what we built. For what? Temporary thrills, cheap validation. Tanya interjected. Mr. Frost, my client is prepared to file with prejudice. We have enough for adultery, dissipation of marital assets, emotional distress. If you contest, we will make every detail public in court. Kirk looked up, pleading. Rasheeda, please don't do this to me, to the kids. She shook her head. I'm not doing this to you. I'm doing it for me, for them. You had chances, hundreds of them. You chose wrong every time. Now you live with it. He broke, then sobbing openly. I'm sorry, Rasheeda. I'm so sorry. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but please don't take everything I built, my name, my career. Rasheeda's voice stayed steady. You built nothing without me, Kirk. I carried us both. Now I'm carrying myself and my boys forward. Sign the papers, agree to the terms, or we see you in court. Kirk nodded, slowly defeated. Okay, I'll sign whatever, just don't drag me through the mud publicly. Rasheeda stood. Tanya will send the agreement by tomorrow. Sign it and we can end this quietly for the kids. Sake, he whispered. Thank you. Rasheeda turned to leave, paused, looked back. One last thing, stop contacting Jasmine or any of them. It's over, Kirk. All of it. He nodded again, tears falling. She walked out, Tanya beside her. Rasheeda, you did good, baby, you really did. Outside, Rasheeda exhaled like she'd been holding her breath for years. The sun was setting over Atlanta, turning everything gold. She felt something shift inside, not happiness exactly, but relief, real deep relief. She called her mom. Mama, it's almost over. I'm coming home soon. Her mom cried happy tears. Baby, I'm proud of you, so proud. The next weeks blurred into paperwork, negotiations, mediation sessions. Kirk signed, eventually agreeing to generous child support, alimony, giving up the mansion, primary custody to Rasheeda with supervised visitation until he completed counseling and anger management. The businesses stayed mostly hers since she'd founded them pre-marriage with her own hustle money. Fans celebrated online with parties, virtual toasts, edits of Rasheeda rising from the ashes. Kirk went quiet, posting only about fatherhood and growth, trying to rehab his image, but the damage was done. Brands dropped him slowly, opportunities dried up while Rasheeda's star rose higher. New music dropping, powerful, raw, honest tracks about betrayal, rebirth, independence. The first single, titled No More Options, hit #1 on iTunes within days. Jasmine reached out one last time. I saw the news. Congrats on your freedom. I blocked him too, deleted everything. We're both free now. Rasheeda replied, thank you, Jasmine, for the truth. It hurt, but it set me free. Take care of yourself. Maybe one day we'll grab coffee. No drama, just two women who survived the same storm. Jasmine sent back, I'd like that. Rasheeda threw herself into motherhood, music, business, new routines, morning walks with the boys, studio nights, writing lyrics that felt like therapy. Her mom moved in temporarily, helping with everything. Family rallied around her. Love and hip-hop producers begged for her to film a special episode. She agreed, but on her terms. No Kirk, no victim narrative, just Rasheeda, unfiltered, powerful, unbreakable. Filming day arrived. She walked onto set, head high in a custom gown, hair, crown like makeup, flawless. The host asked the big question, so Rasheeda, tell us what really happened. She smiled calm, took the mic. I loved hard, I forgave often, but love without respect is just pain. I chose peace, I chose me, and I've never felt stronger. The audience erupted, applause, cameras flashing. She looked straight into the lens, to every woman watching. If you won't choose, you choose yourself. You deserve the world, not scraps. After the taping, K. Michelle pulled her aside. Girl, you slayed, you really slayed. Rasheeda hugged her tight. Couldn't have done it without you, sis. They walked out together into the Atlanta night, city lights twinkling like possibilities. Rasheeda looked up, whispered, thank you, universe, for the lesson. Now watch me thrive. And somewhere in the distance, Kirk watched the clip alone in his new, smaller condo, head in hands, knowing he'd lost the best thing he'd ever had, while Rasheeda drove home to her boys, to her empire, to her new beginning, feeling for the first time truly unstoppable. The drama wasn't over, not completely, but the chapter with Kirk Frost was closed and Rasheeda Frost was just getting started. The weeks following the mediation felt like emerging from a long storm. Rasheeda finally moved back into the mansion, but on her terms. She had the locks changed, the bedroom redecorated, everything that smelled like Kirk's betrayal scrubbed away, fresh paint, new bedding, new energy. The boys ran through the halls laughing again, claiming their old rooms like nothing had changed, but everything had. She hung a large canvas in the living room, bold red letters spelling self-love first, a daily reminder every time she walked past it. Her new single, No More Options, climbed charts faster than anyone expected. Radio stations spinning it non-stop, clubs blasting it at 2 in the morning, women screaming the chorus back at their speakers. I'm done being your maybe, time to be somebody's baby. No more half love, no more maybe. Rasheeda filmed the video in one take, raw, emotional, her walking through the same mansion halls, but this time alone. Powerful heels clicking, confidence radiating. She didn't need backup dancers, just her truth and a camera. The video dropped at midnight and by morning it had 10 million views, comments flooding with women sharing their own stories. I left my man after 10 years. Thank you, Rasheeda, you gave me courage. Another wrote, this song healed parts of me I didn't know were broken. The Love and Hip Hop reunion special aired live from Los Angeles. Rasheeda arrived in a shimmering gold gown, shoulders bare, hair in long waves, looking like royalty. The cast greeted her with hugs. Scrappy squeezed her tight. "You good sis," she nodded. "Better than good." Bambi pulled her aside before cameras rolled. "We all knew he was trash, but we didn't know how deep. Girl, you handled it like a queen on set." The host didn't waste time. "Rasheeda, the world watched your marriage implode in real time. Walk us through it." She took a breath, looked straight at the camera. "It wasn't one night, it was years of patterns. I forgave because I loved him, because I believed in family, because I thought our boys needed both parents under one roof. But love can't live where respect died. I caught him again, and this time I saw the bigger picture, the lies, the secret accounts, the other women he paid to stay quiet. It wasn't just cheating, it was betrayal on every level. So I chose me, I filed, I fought for what was mine, and I'm standing here whole, not broken." The panel erupted applause. Jocelyn jumped in. "Queen shit, Rasheeda, you showed these girls what it looks like to walk away with your crown still on." Kirk wasn't there. Producers had invited him, but he declined, citing personal reasons. Everyone knew why he couldn't face the heat. The host pressed Rasheeda, "Any message for Kirk if he's watching?" She paused, then smiled softly. "Kirk, I don't hate you. I wish you healing. I wish you growth for our son's sake, but I'm no longer available for your lessons. I've graduated. Thank you for showing me exactly what I don't want so I could finally claim what I do deserve." The audience lost its standing ovation, cameras catching every tear, every proud nod from the cast. After the show aired, the DM requests poured in. Women entrepreneurs, artists, fans wanting collabs. Rasheeda's team curated carefully. She started a podcast called Rising Queen, unfiltered conversations with women who'd survived heartbreak, betrayal, reinvention. First guest K. Michelle. They laughed, cried, spilled tea about industry men who thought they could play gods. K said on mic, "Girl, when I saw you walk out that hotel lounge that day, I knew you were different. You didn't just leave, you leveled up." Rasheeda replied, "That's the goal, sis. No more shrinking to fit someone's ego." The financial fallout hit Kirk harder than expected. Sponsors pulled out quietly. His car collection started getting repossessed one by one. The flashy lifestyle he'd flaunted on Instagram now looked hollow. He tried a comeback, post a gym selfie, caption, "New chapter, new me, grinding harder." The comments roasted him. "You mean grinding on couches now?" Kirk, stay down. Fans weren't letting him slide. He went live once trying to explain himself. "Y'all don't know the full story. Rasheeda knows I messed up, but we both played parts." People flooded the chat with receipts, timestamps, audio clips. He ended the live early, face red, embarrassed. Rasheeda didn't watch. She was too busy living. Her kids started therapy to process the changes. Her oldest opened up more. "Mommy, I knew daddy was doing bad stuff. Sometimes I heard him yelling on the phone." Rasheeda hugged him tight. "Baby, I'm sorry you had to carry that. You're a kid. Your job is to play, learn, grow, not worry about grown-up mess." He nodded. "But I'm glad you're happy now. Mommy, you smile more." She kissed his forehead. "That's because I got my peace back, baby." One afternoon her mom sat her down with tea again. "Rasheeda, baby, I've been watching you these past months. You're glowing, but I see the nights you still cry when you think no one's looking. It's okay to grieve what was, even if it wasn't good. You invested years, heart, soul, money. Don't rush the healing." Rasheeda teared up. "Mama, I miss the good parts, the laughs, the family trips, the way he used to look at me like I was everything, but those moments were so rare. Toward the end they got drowned out by the pain." Her mom squeezed her hand. "Then keep the good memories as lessons, not chains. You honor what was real by building something better now." Inspired, Rasheeda poured that energy into new music, a whole EP titled Phoenix Rising, 5 tracks, each one a step in her journey from ashes to flight. The title track, Phoenix Rising, had her singing over haunting piano. "I'm burning down, the version of me that stayed too long, rising up from the flames where I belong. No more waiting for apologies, no more begging for loyalty. I'm my own savior now. Watch me soar." Critics called it her best work, yet vulnerable, powerful, authentic. She performed it at the BET Awards, red carpet interviews buzzing. "Rasheeda, how does it feel to be free?" She smiled wide. "It feels like breathing fresh air after being underwater too long." Backstage she ran into an old friend, Darius, from her early music days. He hugged her. "Longtime queen, heard your story, proud of you." She laughed. "Thanks boo, it's been a ride." He leaned in. "You know I always had a crush on you back in the day, but you were Kirk's girl now though." He winked playfully. Rasheeda blushed a little but played it cool. "Careful Darius, I'm fresh out the fire, don't come with matches." He laughed. "Just saying, if you ever want to grab coffee, talk music, no pressure." She nodded. "Maybe one day, we'll see." The dating rumors started almost immediately, blogs linking her to everyone from athletes to rappers. She shut it down quick in an interview. "I'm not rushing into anything. My focus is me, my boys, my music. When love comes again, it'll be different, healthier, no games, no secrets, just real mutual respect. Until then, I'm good, loving myself loud." The kids adjusted beautifully. Her youngest started calling her Super Mommy because she could do anything: cook breakfast, drop them at school, record a song, all in one day. They made family traditions, movie nights, baking cookies, park days. Rasheeda even started a YouTube channel for moms showing the real side of single parenting, hustle, motherhood, balance, no filters. One video went viral, her cooking breakfast while helping with homework, answering fan questions in the comments. You're inspiring so many of us, thank you. Jasmine reached out sporadically, not often, just checking in. I saw your bet performance, you killed it. Rasheeda replied, thank you girl, how you holding up? Jasmine, honest, I'm dating someone new, actually he treats me right, no drama. Rasheeda smiled, happy for you, we both deserved that. Jasmine sent a heart emoji, yeah we did, maybe one day we really do that coffee thing. Rasheeda typed back, I'd like that, no competition, just sisterhood. Months turned into a year, the divorce finalized quietly, no big courtroom drama, just papers signed, money transferred, assets divided. Rasheeda kept the mansion, the bulk of the businesses. Kirk got a settlement, enough to start over if he chose wisely. The boys saw him every other weekend, supervised at first, then more freely as he completed counseling. He seemed different, quieter, humbler. He texted Rasheeda once, thank you for not destroying me publicly, I know you could have. She replied, I didn't do it for you, I did it for our boys, they need a daddy, not a villain. Take care of yourself, Kirk. Her career exploded, new label deal, international tours, fashion collabs. Her clothing line expanded into plus sizes because she wanted every woman to feel seen, powerful. She headlined festivals, crowds chanting her name, signs reading Rasheeda saved my life. One night after a show she stood on stage alone, spotlight, hot sweat dripping, mic in hand. Thank you Atlanta, thank you for riding with me through the mess, through the tears, through the glow up. This one's for every woman who's ever stayed too long, who's ever doubted her worth. Listen to me, you are enough just as you are, don't wait for someone to validate you, validate yourself, rise up, claim your power, because when you do the world has no choice but to move out the way. The crowd roared, she dropped the mic, walked off stage, head high, heart full. Backstage her team waited with champagne. K. Michelle, mom, the boys on FaceTime, mommy you were amazing. Her oldest yelled, we saw you on TV, super mommy. She laughed, blowing kisses, I love y'all so much, this is for us, all of us. As the night wound down, Rasheeda slipped away to the rooftop of the venue. Atlanta sprawled below, lights twinkling like stars. She thought about the woman she'd been, the one crying in Kay's guest room, the one throwing lamps in her own bedroom, the one forgiving over and over. Now she barely recognized that version, softer edges gone, replaced by steel wrapped in silk. She whispered to the city, thank you for breaking me, because you forced me to rebuild stronger. She breathed in deep, exhaled slow, then turned back toward the elevator, toward her team, her kids, her future. No looking back, only forward. The drama that once consumed her now felt like a distant episode, a season long gone. She was in a new era, one she wrote, directed, starred in on her own terms, and the ratings were through the roof, because when Rasheeda Frost decided to rise, nothing could hold her down anymore. The rooftop moment lingered in Rasheeda's mind like a snapshot. She kept coming back to that night under the Atlanta stars. She had felt the shift, not just in her career but in her soul. The woman who once begged for scraps of loyalty now commanded stages, demanded respect, built empires without apology. The divorce papers had been filed, sealed, delivered, but the real freedom came in the quiet moments, when no cameras rolled, no fans cheered, just her breathing easy in her own skin. The Phoenix Rising EP dropped in full 3 months after the reunion special. Critics ate it up. Rolling Stone called it a masterclass in emotional alchemy. Pitchfork gave it an 8.3, saying Rasheeda Frost has transformed personal catastrophe into sonic catharsis. Every track feels like therapy. Turned up to stadium volume, sales exploded, streaming numbers hit platinum faster than her last 3 projects combined. She booked a small intimate tour, not arenas yet, just theaters, clubs, spots that felt personal, where she could see faces, connect eyes to eyes. First show in Atlanta sold out in minutes. The line wrapped around the block, women in Rasheeda merch holding signs, Queen Rising, Unbreakable. Some brought their daughters, teaching them young what it looks like when mama chooses herself. On stage that night, the lights dimmed to a single spotlight. Rasheeda walked out barefoot in a simple white slip dress, hair loose, no makeup, just glow. She didn't speak at first, just stood there letting the silence build. Then she whispered into the mic, thank y'all for meeting me here tonight. This ain't a concert, this a healing session, we're all in this together. She started with an acoustic version of Phoenix Rising, voice cracking on the line, I rose from the ashes, you left me, in voice raw, honest. The crowd sang every word back to her, some crying openly, others swaying arms around each other. By the end of the set she had stripped down to vulnerability, sharing stories between songs about the nights she almost went back, about the therapy sessions where she learned to forgive herself first, not him, about how motherhood kept her grounded when everything else spun wild. The audience didn't just clap, they roared, they affirmed, they witnessed Backstage after the show, her boys waited with her mom. They had snuck in through the side door. Her youngest ran into her arms. Mommy, you sang so pretty. She scooped him up, kissed his cheeks. Thank you, baby. Mommy sang for us all. Her oldest looked up shyly. I told my friends at school my mom is famous. They didn't believe me until tonight. Rasheeda laughed, pulled him close. Believe it, baby, your mama's unstoppable now. The tour expanded. Chicago, New York, Miami. Each city brought new stories, women approaching her after shows, sharing their own betrayals, their own rise. One night in La fan handed her a letter, tears streaming. I was about to go back to my ex tonight. Your music stopped me. Thank you. Rasheeda read it later in her hotel room, folded it carefully, added it to the growing collection of notes she kept in a box labeled Strength from Strangers. She started reading them on hard days, reminders that her pain had purpose, that her story rippled far beyond her own life. Meanwhile, Kirk tried rebuilding in the shadows. He moved to a modest condo in Buckhead, started a podcast called Second Chances, talking about accountability, growth, redemption. The first few episodes got decent downloads, mostly curious listeners wanting the tea, but he kept it surface level. No deep admissions, no naming names, just vague I made mistakes, I'm learning. The backlash came quick. Twitter threads dissecting every word, calling it damage control. One viral post read, Kirk out here acting like therapy fixed what years of cheating broke. Nah, sir, own it. Rasheeda never commented. She didn't need to. Her silence spoke louder than any clapback. Her team noticed the shift in her energy. Meetings became brainstorming sessions full of ideas. She launched a mentorship program for young women in music called Crown Keepers, workshops on contracts, branding, mental health, navigating the industry sharks. She brought in lawyers, accountants, therapists, guest speakers like Kay Michelle, who told raw stories about her own battles. The first cohort filled up in hours, girls from all over the country flying in, some on scholarships. Rasheeda funded herself. She wanted no excuses for talent getting blocked by money or fear. In the circle sessions, she shared openly the fear of starting over at her age, the guilt of breaking up a family, the joy of rediscovering herself. One girl asked, how do you trust again after betrayal? Rasheeda thought for a second. You don't rush trust, you build it slow with yourself first. When you trust your own decisions, the right people show up and the wrong ones fall away naturally. Personally, she started dating again cautiously, nothing serious, just coffee, lunches, walks with interesting men who respected her boundaries. One guy, a music exec named Marcus, took her to a quiet jazz spot in Midtown. They talked for hours about life, dreams, failures. He didn't ask about Kirk once, just listened. When she brought it up herself at the end of the night, he said, you're incredible, Rasheeda. Not because of what you've been through, but because of who you've become. She smiled, thanked him, but kept it light, no rushing, no pressure. She liked the feeling of possibility without urgency. The boys thrived in the new normal, school, sports, friends, sleepovers. Rasheeda made sure their world stayed stable. She attended every game, every recital, sat in the bleachers cheering loudest. Her oldest made the basketball team. Her youngest discovered painting, filling the house with colorful canvases. She framed his best ones, hung them in the hallway pride wall, she called it. One evening her mom cooked Sunday dinner. The whole family gathered, laughing, talking over plates of fried chicken, collards, mac and cheese. Her mom raised her glass to Rasheeda. Baby, you did it, you really did. Rasheeda clinked glasses with tears in her eyes. We did, mama, all of us. A year and a half after the split, the BET Awards called again, this time offering her Performer of the Year. She accepted headlining the show. She chose to debut a brand new song titled Unbreakable. No features, just her voice over booming drums and soaring strings. The lyrics poured out like she'd been saving them for this moment. I bent but never broke, gathered every piece they thought they'd stole. Now watch me shine brighter than before. Unbreakable soul, unbreakable whole. The performance stopped the internet. People live tweeting in all caps, Rasheeda just gave us life, queen energy. On 1000 after the show, she won the award, walked up in a custom gown embroidered with rising phoenixes. Acceptance speech, short, powerful. This is for every woman who thought her story ended when the man left. Thank you for reminding me that my story was just beginning. I dedicate this to my sons who saw me fall and rise, and to every queen watching, know this, your comeback is going to be legendary. Back in Atlanta, life settled into a beautiful rhythm. She expanded the clothing line into home goods, candles, journals, affirmations printed on everything. She opened a wellness center downtown, yoga, therapy, sound baths, all centered around women, reclaiming power. Bookings filled months in advance. She wrote a book deal memoir titled From Forgiven to Free. Publishers fought for it. The advance made headlines. She used part of it to fund scholarships for single moms going back to school. One quiet afternoon, she sat on her balcony, coffee in hand, watching the boys play in the yard. Her phone buzzed, a text from Jasmine. Hey queen, just wanted to say I saw your BET performance. You look happy, truly happy. I'm happy too. Found my peace too. Thank you again for not hating me. Rasheeda smiled, typed back, no hate here sis, we both got played, we both got free. Proud of you, keep shining. Jasmine replied, same to you, maybe that coffee soon. Rasheeda, yes, let's make it happen. Kirk reached out sparingly, mostly about the boys coordinating schedules, holiday plans. He sounded different, subdued, less ego, more reflection. One text read, "The boys told me about your show. They were so proud. I'm proud too." Rasheeda replied, "Thank you. They're amazing kids. Keep showing up for them." He sent back, "Always." She didn't need his validation anymore, but the absence of drama felt like grace. She hosted Thanksgiving that year, big table full of family, friends, chosen family, laughter echoing through the house. K. Michelle brought her new man, a sweet, quiet producer who treated her like gold. Scrappy and Bambi came with their kids. The house overflowed with love, no tension, no side eyes, just gratitude. As the year closed, Rasheeda reflected on the journey in her journal. The entry simple but profound. 2 years ago I thought my world ended the night I walked in on him. Now I know it didn't end. It began. The pain carved space for something bigger, truer, stronger. I am not the woman who stayed. I am the woman who left and built a life worth living. She closed the journal, looked out at the city lights, whispered to herself and to whatever higher power listened, "Thank you for the fire, because without it I never would have learned to fly." The next chapter wasn't about revenge or headlines, it was about quiet wins, morning meditations, new songs in the works, international festivals, more mentorship, more love poured into her boys, her community, herself. Rasheeda Frost no longer defined by the man who left but by the woman who rose. The drama that once consumed tabloids now lived only in memories, fading like old photos, while her present burned bright, unstoppable, radiant, fully her own. And in that truth she found the kind of peace that no scandal could ever touch again. And there you have it, viewers, the explosive, heartbreaking, empowering saga of Rasheeda Frost finally walking away from Kirk Frost and stepping fully into her power. From that shocking night she caught him in their own bed with Jasmine, to the hidden audios, the secret accounts, the financial secrets, the confrontations that left him speechless, the divorce papers signed in silence, and now this incredible rise where she's dropping chart-topping music, mentoring the next generation, headlining stages, and raising her boys with unbreakable strength. What started as betrayal turned into the ultimate glow-up, proving once again that when a queen removes the weight that's been holding her down, she doesn't just stand, she soars. But here's the thing, this story isn't over yet. Will Kirk ever truly change and become the father those boys deserve without the drama? Will Rasheeda open her heart to real love again, or is she content building her empire solo for now? Are there more secrets still waiting to drop, or has the final chapter of their toxic cycle really been written? And most importantly, how many other women out there are watching her journey right now, gathering the courage to say enough is enough in their own lives? The questions keep coming, the tea keeps brewing, and Atlanta's reality TV royalty just gave us one of the most real, raw, redemptive arcs we've seen in years. If this roller coaster had you glued to your screen, heart racing, cheering her on, or even shedding a tear, then smash that like button right now. It tells YouTube this is the kind of juicy, inspiring drama you want more of. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update when the next twist hits, because trust me, with Rasheeda involved, there's always more coming. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Team Rasheeda all the way, or do you think Kirk deserves one more chance? Are you proud of her for walking away, or do you miss the old love and hip-hop couple days? Be honest, spill the tea, tag a friend who needs this energy, and let's get the conversation popping. Thank you for riding with me through every twist and turn. Until the next bombshell drops, stay strong, stay real, and remember, you are always worth choosing yourself. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.